to get to letting go, it's like I talk about all of these things for all these weeks, and then today I'm saying, and then let it all go. And there's a couple of beautiful ways that this book that I read talked about it, and she talked about it like a trapeze artist. And the practice was like, a good way to practice this Aparigraha, letting go, non-attachment, non-clinging, is simply by observing your breath. By simply breathing in and then letting it go, because you can't hold it forever. That's an imbalance. It will take you out of your harmony. It would put you into disharmony. It would take you out of your enjoyment and experience of life if you only held on to your breath. So watching the breath leave your body is a beautiful practice of Aparigraha, letting go. And when you let go and when you observe your breath leaving your body, you're also then trusting that the next breath will come and that it is available to you. So you don't ever wonder or worry, maybe unless you have asthma or you're sick, how am I going to get my next breath, right? But then if you do have one of those conditions, then hopefully you always have your tools to also help facilitate and support that, right? So that's another thing. So it's just such a to me it's so beautiful. So one of the ways, there's two ways that in the book makes it more beautiful to me, was the trapeze artist, okay? The trapeze artist, they're swinging, they're flowing. This is Hildy's thing, right? So in order to do your routine, you are swinging and you have to let go of whether it's your legs or your hands, you have to let go. But before you get to the next bar, you're in a moment where you're just free flowing, you're free falling, you're not holding on to anything. And that might be what makes it so beautiful to observe. But then in order to get to the next bar, you have to let go of this bar, you have to free flow in order to get to the next bar. And so a lot of times we might hold ourselves back from this beautiful experience or moment because we're holding on and clinging, because we say, I want to have security. I'm so afraid of what it feels like if I don't have this security or this knowing, because letting go also means you just don't know. You don't have control over those things. And then there's also the beautiful part, knowing is that the next breath will come. That bar is swinging, so you know that it's going to swing towards you. You know that if you let go of this thing, if you look at the evidence in the history of your life, every time that you have let go of something, yes, something else always comes, right? So even when I see people say, when I'm like, why are you staying in this? You're so unhappy. You deserve better. You deserve more. And then I have to ask, like, is this all that you think that you deserve? Do you think that this is the best you can do? And so then if the answer and there's no wrong answer when you ask that question. I have to ask myself that sometimes. Is this the best I think I can do? Because if my answer is yes, then I have to challenge that. I have to confront that belief that I have and work through it. And that is progress and growth. As well as if I say the answer is no, I do think I deserve better. If the answer is no, then you have a decision to make, Hina, because your actions are not lined up with your words, with your beliefs, right? So there's no wrong answer. The answer is just what is in front of you, and what do you choose to move? What are you choosing? The second way that she describes it in the book was the bananas. This is a banana example. I went to Ghana in 2024, so that was 2 years ago. I went to Ghana, and we went to the monkey sanctuary where we got to feed the monkeys. And the thing, thank you, it was the book talked about let go of the banana. When you feed the bananas to the monkeys, there's two ways. When you feed the banana to the monkeys, they say do not hold on. Like, if you're gonna feed the bananas, then you gotta let go of the bananas. You can't, you know what I mean? If you wanna have this experience, you gotta let it go. And you have to know this is not gonna last forever. So non-attachment, non-clinging also is the practice of not living in lack. And you got to be present in that moment, because you know that it won't last forever, but you can really enjoy it while you're in it. Okay? But then the other side of that, when they were feeding the bananas to the monkeys, there's another side of how the monkeys, when we went to visit somewhere else and we seen monkeys in a cage, how did they get in that cage? Because they were conditioned, the monkeys were getting the bananas, and then the people who were catching the monkeys, then they weren't letting go, okay, of the bananas. And if the monkeys would have let go of the bananas, they wouldn't have got captured, okay? But since they held on to this thing, now they're captured by the thing that they thought that they enjoyed. Now it turned into their prison, okay? And so there's so many things that we might hold on to. And in the book, it was just talking about how we have this one experience, and then we expect every time we return to it to be exactly the same. It has to be like this last time. It has to taste exactly the same. If I go to this restaurant, it has to be exactly the same way it was last time, otherwise I won't enjoy it, right? Why doesn't it taste the same? What's wrong with this sauce? You know what I mean? Again, every moment will be different. Every breath is different. And again, so we come back to the practice of the breathing. When we practice that observation of our breath, that experience of our breath, we can translate that anywhere in our lives, all right? But we don't have to, we hope when we try to cling to things, then then that thing owns us, we don't own it. And we also rob ourselves, right, that non-stealing of enjoying the moment. So if you look back at all the yamas, I'm closing it up. You look back at all the yamas, non-harm, the first one that we talked about, non-harm, not being harmful towards ourselves. Okay, think about a time that you've had to forgive yourself, or that you've had an experience where you've had to practice compassion with yourself. You had to do some letting go too, right? You had to get past that moment. I'm actively in that practice this week, all right? Whenever I think about me being a single mom and the decisions I made me being accountable to that, but then also me accepting I didn't know the things I knew 22 and 11 years ago. So I can't punish myself for those things. So I have to practice that non-attachment, that letting go, right? You come up to the next one, telling the truth. Truth telling. Which one do I want? Do I think that this is the best I can do? Do I think this is the best I deserve? Whichever one is the truth. It doesn't matter if it's whatever the right answer is, whatever the truth is in that moment. That is what's going to lead you to the letting go, the non-clinging of it. It will keep you out of being a captive. The next one, asteya, right? Tell me what it was again. Non-stealing. Thank you. Non-stealing. When we stay stuck in the past, we are robbing ourselves of that beautiful limbo moment when we are in limbo, okay? So if we let go, then we keep ourselves moving forward into the future rather than being stuck in the past. Why doesn't this pasta taste the same as it did last time? I can't get past it, right? You have the opportunity to enjoy every single moment when you practice that being presence, that non-stealing. All right, then you move into the right use of energy, minimalism, or being present and just not wanting to, I got to collect all the flowers because I can't. I need to get all of the toilet paper because it's a pandemic. I need to, we think about the things we've done as if there's not another way. So we're not even being creative in our minds. And all of those things takes us to that last yama, which is aparigraha, non-clinging, non-attachment, non-holding. And that is really the freedom. So if you practice manifestation, that is one of the primary things in even manifesting. Okay, or if you have a faith, that's one of the things in your faith, is not holding on to it, letting go, and trusting. Okay? So that's that one. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite yamas, y'all. Can y'all tell? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. I knew y'all could. I knew it. All right.